Let me start with a fact that could surprise you, gentlemen. Your testosterone subtly diminishes every year after the age of 60, leaving you weaker, more exhausted, and less self-assured. But what if something as commonplace as the package of baking soda that's already in your kitchen had the secret to reviving that decline, to rekindling the fire you believed had been extinguished? I'm Dr. Moit Cara, a urologist and expert in men's health with more than 30 years of expertise in assisting guys like you in rediscovering their passion, vigor, and energy. I've spent my life providing guys with more than 60 practical, natural, and scientifically proved remedies because I've seen what works. The contradiction that most guys are unaware of is this. We frequently look for complicated solutions in costly medications or dangerous therapies, bypassing the straightforward but effective solutions that are there in front of us. When combined with one particular natural component before bed, baking soda can produce an environment in your body where testosterone not only survives, but flourishes. I'm going to explain to you tonight how this combination functions, why it promotes more robust hormones, improved circulation, and more consistent performance, and above all, how you may get started utilizing it immediately. This is a natural approach that you can use in less than 5 minutes. It is not theory. And stick with me through to the finish because I'll tell you not only what you need to mix with baking soda, but also the precise moment that transforms this easy concoction into a potent nighttime ritual for men over 60 who wish to feel stronger, younger, and more vibrant once more. Make sure to click the subscribe button and activate the notification bell before we begin so you don't miss any more doctor-recommended advice on maintaining a healthy level of testosterone, energy, and vitality after the age of 60. I would also appreciate your opinion. Please leave a comment if this video speaks to you. If not, enter 0 and let me know how I can help you further with these health lessons. Now that you know why you should pay attention to this straightforward combo, let's start with the foundation. Understanding testosterone itself, why it is so important for men over 60, and what happens when it starts to decline is necessary before we can really appreciate how baking soda may have such an impact. 1. Why testosterone is important after 60. I frequently hear the same silent admission from guys in their 60s and 70s. I simply no longer feel like myself, Doc. Their eyes are looking for any confirmation that what they're going through isn't the end of the road. Their shoulders are a little heavier, and their voices are softer. Additionally, the root cause is nearly always the same: low levels of testosterone. Most men never anticipate it, but it affects almost every aspect of their life. Although it would be significant on its own as the hormone of sex drive, testosterone is much more than that. It is the exact signal that instructs your body to preserve its strength, to keep your muscles tight, to prevent brittle bones, and to keep your metabolism robust so that it can fight off the stubborn belly fat that accumulates as you age. It is the spark that sustains your confidence, your attitude, and your ability to think clearly. Without it, men wonder where their power and vitality have gone as the fire of manhood fades gradually and relentlessly, rather than suddenly collapsing. It is impossible to overlook the deterioration after the age of 60. After middle age, testosterone levels typically decline by 1% annually, according to research, but the reality is frequently more severe. Some males see a greater decline because of persistent stress, poor diet, lack of exercise, sleep issues, or long-term drugs. A blood test result is more than simply a number. It manifests itself in your movements, recuperation, and style of life. Intimacy feels more like pressure than pleasure in the evenings. Energy collapses in the afternoons that leave you reaching for sweets or coffee. And mornings when you wake up exhausted even after 8 hours of sleep. All of these indicate that your body is lacking the hormone that used to determine your vitality. And it's not just bodily changes. The effects of testosterone on the psyche are deep. Low levels frequently result in irritation, anxiety, or a persistent depressive mood. There is a decline in motivation. Once driven and self-assured, a guy may find himself putting things off, losing the spark that gave him a sense of direction. I have witnessed troubled marriages, not because love has faded, but rather because hormonal decline has subtly undermined confidence, energy, and desire. When I explain the symptoms, wives frequently sit next to their husbands in my office and nod softly, pleased that it isn't a lack of affection, but rather a biological change that can be treated. The progressive nature of this is what makes it so challenging. The majority of males don't wake up one day with zero testosterone. Rather, it disappears in tiny steps. Exercise feels a bit more difficult. Erections become a little less firm. The belt notch gets a little tighter, and passion slightly wanes. Manhood seemed to be fading into the past, year after year and piece by piece. Furthermore, many men just accept it as a natural part of aging because it occurs gradually. This is the way things are after 60, they tell themselves. However, that belief is not totally accurate. After decades of practice, this is the positive reality I've observed. Although the deterioration is genuine, it is not irreversible. It is possible to affect testosterone levels. Even after the age of 60, your body can still manufacture this essential hormone. Giving your cells the basic resources they require to function, lowering the barriers that impede development, and establishing the ideal atmosphere are all crucial. Hope comes back to men when they discover this and realize they still have some power. Not only do their hormones improve, but they also realize they can still fight aging, which makes them stand higher. This is where baking soda comes into play in a rather unexpected way. It could appear to be nothing more than white powder for sink cleaning or bread making on its own. However, it can boost the very systems that deteriorate with age by helping to tip the scales in favor of testosterone inside your body. Additionally, the effect is amplified when combined with a particular natural substance. Let's examine what makes baking soda so special, why most guys don't think of it, and how it can turn out to be a surprising ally in preserving your masculinity after the age of 60. 2. The underappreciated potential of baking soda. Most guys imagine baking soda in the kitchen or hidden away in the refrigerator to absorb smells. It's such a commonplace home item that it almost seems absurd to think it may have any bearing on men's health. Nevertheless, I've been shocked over the years to see how frequently the most basic, underappreciated solutions can have untapped potential. Among those silent supporters is baking soda. One patient, a man in his late 60s, came to me with frustration, I recall. He had read all the ads for testosterone boosters, tried pricey pills, and even dabbled with dangerous hormone injections, but nothing seemed to provide him with the consistent confidence and energy he so desperately needed. I asked him whether he had ever thought about baking soda, and he nearly laughed. "Do you mean the materials I occasionally use to wash my teeth?" "Oh," he said, but after using it correctly for a few weeks, his face told me everything. He felt more in tune with his body than he had in years. His energy increased, and his muscles no longer ached as much. That's when it hit me hard once more. Sometimes we don't think to look for the answers that are there in front of us. Baking soda's potency lies in its capacity to alter your body's interior ecology. Stress, alcohol, processed meals, and even aging itself can cause our blood and tissues to become more acidic as we age. Although it may not always be evident, that acidity strains your cells and disrupts the sensitive mechanisms required for hormone production. In example, testosterone is negatively impacted by an excessively acidic environment. Baking soda has alkalizing properties. It helps restore equilibrium by neutralizing excess acidity, which enables your cells, including the Leydig cells in your testes that produce testosterone, to function at their peak. However, that is just one aspect of the situation. The impact of baking soda on oxygen delivery and circulation is another underappreciated advantage. Vitality depends on the flow of blood. In the absence of proper circulation, erections become weaker, muscles feel heavy, and vitality is depleted. Baking soda lowers lactic acid accumulation in athletes, improving endurance and recovery, according to studies. The idea is still relevant even though the majority of us are not running on a track in our 60s. Your heart and reproductive system, among other organs, will receive more oxygen if your circulation is improved. Additionally, increased support for testosterone and sexual function results from a stronger oxygen supply. Additionally, there is a minor yet significant impact on fatigue. A lot of men over 60 tell me that they are always exhausted. Even while their minds remain bright, they feel as though their bodies have betrayed them. It has been demonstrated that baking soda lessens the burnout caused by lactic acid buildup, allowing your body to remain active without experiencing the same degree of fatigue and allowing your muscles to recover more rapidly. Although it may not sound glamorous, your quality of life will significantly increase when you can go for a walk without feeling exhausted, or engage in mild activity without experiencing days of pain. Let me clarify that baking soda is not a miracle remedy in and of itself. It's not. When used alone, it has certain advantages. However, when it is combined with the appropriate natural companion, the true change takes place. Its potential then really starts to materialize, assisting not only in balancing your internal environment, but also in igniting the mechanisms that raise testosterone. And I'll tell you what ingredient, when mixed with baking soda, makes this common household powder into a potent tonic for men over 60 who wish to regain their vigor in a moment. 3. The synergy. Baking soda plus lemon juice. When I initially started looking into natural approaches to help men's health, I was amazed at how frequently traditional practices subtly complemented contemporary research. For instance, lemon water has been used for generations as a purifying morning beverage, valued for its cooling properties and capacity to restore equilibrium to the body. Although less glamorous, baking soda has long been prized for its ability to lower acidity and have calming effects on digestion. The interaction between these basic substances, however, captivated me the most. Each of them has advantages on its own. They work together to create a partnership that has the power to profoundly alter how your body works. A reaction occurs when baking soda and lemon juice come into contact. The alkalinity of baking soda and the intense acidity of lemon combine to produce a little fizz or the release of carbon dioxide. It appears to be nothing more than kitchen chemistry to the majority of people. However, that reaction creates something far more significant inside your body. The harshness of both components is lessened, which facilitates their absorption and digestion and increases their ability to get to the areas that need them the most. Men have told me that when they tried it for the first time, they were taken aback by how smooth and light it felt, as though their system was embracing the mixture. That's because this combination has a purpose in addition to being aesthetically pleasing. Vitamin C is a potent gift that comes with lemon juice. Vitamin C is more than just a cold remedy for men over 60. Your cells that produce testosterone are directly protected by it. Oxidative stress is constantly attacking the Leydig cells located deep within the testes. As we age, free radicals, those unstable chemicals that harm our tissues, become more hostile. By blocking their path, vitamin C shields those cells and enables them to continue producing testosterone. Lemon juice also promotes the synthesis of nitric oxide, which is the molecule that instructs your blood vessels to relax and open. This is crucial because blood cannot readily travel to the areas that are most important without open, flexible veins. And as every guy is aware, the foundation of solid, consistent erections is good circulation. Baking soda intervenes to enhance these results. It provides your body with an interior environment where hormones can develop naturally by balancing acidity. When combined with lemon, it aids in blood sugar stabilization, avoiding the spikes and crashes that upset hormone balance. After including this combo into their overnight regimen, I have witnessed guys who previously battled with cravings or afternoon energy drops experience unexpected stability. That steadiness is about providing your body with the peace and equilibrium it needs to concentrate on hormone production when you sleep, not just about feeling better during the day. Knowing that you don't have to rely on pricey items or intricate routines to take care of your health is also incredibly fulfilling. Many guys tell me that when they develop easy routines that really work, they feel empowered and even proud. Before going to bed, combining baking soda and lemon juice become a ritual rather than just a recipe. It serves as a reminder that you can still take charge of your health, maintain your vitality, and take action even if you are in your 60s or 70s. I want you to visualize the long-term effects. As the weeks pass, blood vessels remain open and flexible. Testosterone production receives the breathing room it requires. Inflammation starts to subside, and the lethargy that formerly burdened you starts to fade. Intimacy becomes more organic, energy is more fluid, and confidence gradually reappears. I have seen this in my patients, and it never ceases to motivate me. Now that you know how powerful this straightforward combo is, the next query becomes as crucial. To get the most benefit for your health, how should you prepare it and when should you take it? As you will soon discover, the secret to unlocking its full potential is timing. 4. The evening ritual, when and how to take it. I've always felt that little regular rituals have greater power than any miraculous medication. Sitting across from guys in their 60s and 70s throughout the years, I've witnessed firsthand how implementing a single, easy habit at the appropriate time of day can make a huge difference. For this reason, I refer to this concoction of lemon juice and baking soda as the nighttime routine. It's neither a trick nor a gimmick. It is a method of bringing your body's natural rhythm into harmony with the very nourishment and assistance it most desires. Many males are unaware of this fact. Most of the testosterone in your body is produced while you sleep. Your body is busily healing tissues, gaining strength, balancing hormones, and getting you ready for the day during the peaceful hours of the night when everything else seems to be slowing down. Your cells are at their most active during this sacred period, repairing the damage that aging gradually attempts to cause. That's why time is so important. By consuming this mixture before bed in the evening, you are supplying the system with energy just when it is ready to perform. The dish is easy enough for any male to make in a matter of minutes. Use half a teaspoon of baking soda to begin. Pour 4 to 6 ounces of water into a small glass and squeeze in the juice of half a fresh lemon, about 1 teaspoon. Drink it carefully after giving it a gentle stir and allowing it to bubble. Give your body the signal it needs by doing this 30 to 45 minutes before bed. While the lemon will provide antioxidants, vitamin C, and nitric oxide to support your blood vessels' desire to remain open and flexible, the baking soda will help to neutralize acidity and prepare the ground. When combined, they produce the ideal environment for testosterone to naturally increase as you fall asleep. One patient I recall was doubtful. "I've tried everything, Doc," he said. "Why do you think this basic bottle of water can accomplish anything?" However, he had enough faith in me to try. He returned 2 weeks later with a smile I had never seen before. His mornings felt different, he remarked. He awoke with more natural drive, less stiffness, and less sluggishness. His wife even remarked that he appeared more involved and present. It dawned on him then that it was more than just the concoction. It was about providing his body with what it needed each and every night at the appropriate time. This rite also has a feeling of nobility. With something safe, natural, and readily accessible, you're taking back control rather than following the newest trend or depending on pricey procedures. It turns into more than simply a part of your nightly routine. It's a declaration that you're not going to let aging control your vitality. After only a few weeks of regularity, I've seen men sit higher, talk more confidently, and change the way they hold themselves. This exercise is beautiful because it develops with you. You start to see more advantages the longer you stick with it. Throughout the day, energy feels more consistent. Light exercise speeds your recovery. Intimacy feels more like it used to be and less like a battle. Innate, self-assured, even happy. When you work with your body rather than against it, that is what occurs. However, I want you to realize that this is just a portion of the situation. The changes men start to experience are what really motivate them to continue, even though the rite itself sets the scene. This brings us to the next crucial component of the puzzle. What happens if you continue to provide your body with this nightly assistance for 30 days? You might be surprised by the outcomes, and I'll tell you exactly what men have gone through next. 5. What guys feel after consistency. When I initially explain this evening process to guys, they often ask me, "Doc, how long does it take me to feel anything at all?" Since many men have tried innumerable drugs, powders, and promises that never materialized by the time they reach their 60s, it's a fair inquiry. I say the same thing to them every time. This is about gradual, organic progress rather than quick fixes. And when you give your body 30 days of regularity, the changes usually start off slowly before becoming more noticeable, until you notice that something has started to change inside of you. Energy is frequently the first thing men notice. Not the sugary, jittery energy you get from sugar or coffee, but a more steady, peaceful energy that lasts all day. Instead of a flicker, one man in his 70s described it as a constant flame. He claimed he didn't feel exhausted after walking his dog in the evenings, and that he no longer needed an afternoon nap to get through the day. The first indication that your hormones are returning to equilibrium and that your system is functioning in your favor rather than against you is that stability. Mornings are another area where many men notice changes. They had been stiff, slow, and unmotivated when they woke up for years. But after doing this every night for a few weeks, their mornings started to feel different. They were alert when they awoke. Additionally, a lot of people experienced something they hadn't had in years: hardness in the morning. One of the best markers that blood flow is improving and testosterone levels are growing is that natural sign of male vigor. It returns with a profound sense of assurance that manhood is still present, in addition to physical preparedness. As the weeks pass, intimacy also starts to shift. I hear from a lot of men that they no longer have to struggle to feel desire. Confidence returns as it happens more naturally. Frequently, wives and partners become aware before the males do. Their husbands appear more alive, more affectionate, and more present, they remark. The physique is not the only thing that gets better. As the strain of performance anxiety starts to lessen, the relationship becomes more affectionate. I've seen couples regain intimacy that they believed had vanished forever. There are also physical changes. When testosterone production improves, belly fat, that obstinate band around the waist that appears to taunt men as they age, begins to decrease. Muscles react better to mild exercise. The results seem more noticeable, the recovery is quicker, and there is less soreness, even if you are only walking or performing basic stretches. I was told by one man that he thought, "Hey, I know that guy," as he glanced in the mirror, because instead of feeling soft, his arms and chest started to feel firm again. Together, these minor triumphs serve as a reminder to a man that he still has authority over his body. The return of confidence is arguably the most poignant change. Men stand higher when they sense their power returning, when their energy levels stabilize, and when they enjoy closeness once more. They talk more firmly. They are proud of who they are. It seems as though life is once again a wide horizon, rather than a gradual deterioration. Because they feel capable again, I've witnessed guys travel with their spouses, pick up old pastimes, or just smile more. That self-assurance permeates all aspects of life, including job, relationships with family and friends, and the peaceful times when a man looks in the mirror and is ultimately satisfied with what he sees. However, I don't want you to only envision these modifications. I want you to know how you can make them more durable, stronger, and quicker. Because while the baking soda and lemon ritual is effective on its own, when combined with specific daily routines that promote hormone circulation and wellness, the effects are amplified. Therefore, you can take this base and build upon it for even more vitality. That's just what we'll be looking at next. 6. Supportive behaviors that increase the impact. Over the years, I've witnessed men learn the value of basic rituals like mixing baking soda and lemon. And I've also witnessed how much more powerful those outcomes can be when backed up by a few essential behaviors. Consider the combination to be a seed. That seed has the capacity to develop into something powerful, but it will never do so without care, sunlight, and water. Similar to this, your body needs specific foods and lifestyle choices to maximize the benefits of this nightly routine. The advantages increase and the outcomes feel more profound, quicker, and more enduring when you combine them. Zinc is one of the most underappreciated minerals for males over 60. I frequently explain to my patients that zinc is similar to testosterone's ignition key. The engine won't even start without it. If you're lacking, your body just can't make enough testosterone. Sadly, a lot of older men are. Additionally, zinc is essential for maintaining the prostate's health, which is particularly critical as we age. Some of the richest sources are foods like lean cuts of beef, beans, oysters, and pumpkin seeds. And men's hormone response is notably stronger when they intentionally include these foods in their weekly diet. In just a few weeks, men have returned to inform me that just adding a handful of pumpkin seeds to their nighttime snack had given them more energy and stability. Another mineral I encourage guys to pay attention to is magnesium. Magnesium is the calm that maintains a smooth ride if zinc is the ignition. One of testosterone's worst enemies is stress, and men's stress chemicals tend to rise with age. Testosterone and cortisol cannot coexist. When one rises, the other falls. Magnesium aids in regulating cortisol. It lets your body know that it's safe to operate properly. You can get the magnesium your body needs from foods like spinach, almonds, and even a tiny square of dark chocolate. I've witnessed men who had trouble sleeping have better sleep after including foods high in magnesium in their regular meals. When sleep gets better, testosterone levels rise. Although it might seem insignificant, staying hydrated is frequently the missing component. More than 90% of your blood is water, and circulation is essential for hormone distribution, erections, and energy. Dehydration causes your blood to thicken, which makes it more difficult for your body to transport nutrients and oxygen to the areas that require them. When alcohol is involved, the issue gets somewhat worse. Maintaining a healthy fluid balance through moderate alcohol consumption and hydration helps your body function more effectively, from your heart pumping blood to your testes, releasing testosterone. Particular care should be paid to sleep itself. The number of men who acknowledged that they were only getting 5 or 6 hours of sleep per night and still expected their bodies to create the hormones of a 20-year-old is beyond me. The truth is straightforward. No testosterone, no sleep. Your deep sleep is when most of your hormone production occurs. The baking soda and lemon practice is therefore most effective at night. It prepares your body to produce as much as possible in a single night. It's like doubling your investment when you combine it with 7 or 8 hours of restful sleep. There is no denying the return. And lastly, motion. I'm not talking about strenuous exercises or long marathons. I'm talking about steady, mild exercise that keeps your blood flowing and your muscles engaged. Stretching for a few minutes, taking a quick stroll after dinner, or doing some modest resistance training with dumbbells or bands all tell your body that vitality, strength, and testosterone are still important. By combining the ritual with as little as 20 minutes of daily movement, I have seen men change their energy levels. Together, these practices, zinc-rich diets, magnesium support, hydration, restful sleep, and regular exercise, create the ideal conditions for the baking soda and lemon combo to operate. It's similar like opening all of your windows and doors to allow in fresh air. Your body flourishes, and the effects are evident. However, the most potent change may not be merely physical. Something deeper starts to alter when men adopt these behaviors and observe the changes taking place. They become more self-assured, their perspective improves, and they come to understand that growing older does not equate to giving up. And that brings us to the most significant of all truths, the emotional process of becoming a man again after turning 60. A voyage that has the power to alter not just your physical appearance, but also your whole life. 7. Reclaiming manhood, emotional call to action after 60. Throughout my career, I have spoken with men in their 60s and 70s who lean forward in my office, drop their voices, and confess something they hardly ever share with others. They fear that they are no longer who they once were. They recall the times when they were naturally energized, when passion burned without exertion, and when drive and strength were just a natural part of who they were. They now wonder if that man is gone forever as they gaze in the mirror. I say the same thing to them every time. Even if your physical appearance is altered, your manhood has not. It's still there, just waiting to be taken back by you. In actuality, aging is more complex than numbers. It all depends on how you decide to handle those years. Indeed, testosterone levels drop. Indeed, if left unchecked, energy does wane. However, you have some control over this process. I have witnessed men who had almost given up rediscover themselves via gradual, incremental changes. Those choices include the baking soda and lemon ritual and the supportive behaviors we've talked about. Mixing 2 components in a glass is not enough. Making a statement each night before bed is the goal. I don't let my age define who I am. A man in his late 60s who came to visit me with slouched shoulders and a low voice, certain that his finest years were over, is a common image in my mind. When I proposed something as basic as lemon and baking soda, he was dubious. but he concluded he had nothing to lose. He returned to my office a month later, taller, with a firmer handshake and more radiant eyes. All he had wanted, he told me, was to feel like himself again, even though he didn't feel like a young man anymore. That's what it means to be a man again, embracing the best version of yourself right now, rather than acting like you're 20. When you understand that you still have control over your vitality, you experience a profound emotional release. You now view every birthday as a chance to demonstrate that strength and confidence can develop at any age, rather than as a step toward decline. You infuse every moment with vitality and presence, which benefits your relationships. You start to wake up with a purpose rather than resignation, which alters your perspective. Perhaps most significantly, you feel proud of yourself again, not just of your abilities, but also of your choice to continue living life to the fullest. This is not an urgent or fear-based call to action. It has to do with hope. It serves as a reminder that there is still a way to move forward that feels strong, masculine, and alive, even after the age of 60. You don't require costly procedures or dangerous shortcuts. You must be persistent, have faith in yourself, and have the guts to start small each day. One of those steps is the ceremony you have learned here. It can transform not just your physical appearance, but also your self-perception when combined with sleep, food, water, and exercise. If you started today, I want you to picture how life might feel in 30 days. Your mornings are filled with more vitality. When you look at your partner, you feel more confident, more fluidity in your motions. You're thinking more clearly. And a fresh sense of accomplishment each time you see that you haven't been defeated by age. It is not impossible to achieve that future. You are the one who needs to claim it. Despite how strong that vision is, I want to go one step further with you. I'm going to show you how to tie everything together in a straightforward but profound way, now that you realize how important it is to regain your manhood after 60. A roadmap for maintaining your vitality and making sure that the years to come are not only longer, but also richer and more satisfying than you could have ever dreamed. Conclusion. Together, gentlemen, we have traversed a journey. One that started with a straightforward box of baking soda and brought us to the more profound reality of what it means to be a man past the age of 60. You now understand why testosterone is so important at this point in life, how its gradual deterioration can impact your confidence, vitality, and mood in addition to your physical health. You now know that balancing your system can be achieved with something as commonplace as baking soda, which is frequently disregarded, and that it becomes more than just a beverage when combined with lemon juice. It turns into a routine that promotes vitality, circulation, and hormone production as you sleep. We have discussed the significance of timing, how the natural rhythm of your body is synchronized with ingesting this mixture in the evening. We've talked about the benefits of consistency, including stronger erections, more stable energy, better mornings, and confidence that permeates every aspect of your life. In order to maximize the benefits and enable your body to flourish, we have examined supportive behaviors, zinc, magnesium, hydration, rest, and regular movement. We have also discussed the emotional reality that regaining your manhood is about entering this new chapter of your life with courage and dignity, not about chasing youth. These steps have changed guys, in my experience, and I've witnessed the way their eyes brighten when they understand that they still possess energy and are not helpless. I now issue a challenge to you. Apply what you've learned to your own life. Give yourself permission to trust in change, embrace these habits, and dedicate yourself to this practice for the next 30 days. Your narrative doesn't end here. This marks the start of a new chapter, an energetic, self-assured, intimate, and purposeful chapter. And I'll be here to remind you at every turn, your manhood is not defined by your age. You do.